This is Tarron with Twist Mesquite Performance Horses. We are on a mission to create a world-class 2-year-old program that specializes in the reigned cow horse. Today we are doing a video with Cinco. This is her 15th week in our program. This week we spent a lot of time outside with her. Over the past couple weeks, that's been our main focus, taking this horse outside, allowing her to experience being outside and being ridden outside. The goal of her owner is to be able to have a nice horse to be able to go trail riding on, haul all over, and maybe be able to overnight camp and cool things like that. So we are continuing to progress her training, but then also adding to just the element of being outside. That way that this horse is learning how to think, learning how to do what we're asking her to do, how to control her emotions and her own energy while she's outside. This week, like I said, we rode her outside quite a bit. We even took her to the neighbors and hauled her over there when we were working a couple other horses on cattle. We got to ride her at a new place over there in a new arena, so that was a good experience for her. Even just being hauled and standing tied in the trailer and cool things like that, it was all good experience for her, so that she's more prepared in order to do what she's needing to do when she does go to her next stage in training, when she goes home. So, but anyway, I do think as we've kind of changed things around with Wiz a little bit, to where we'll work on some things in the arena and then bring him outside and let him relax and maybe touch on some of those exercises outside as well, but kind of making outside, making their experience outside, their time outside being the reward. And I think it's going to help their mentality. I think it's going to help her as well. So next week we'll do the same thing, to where work her in the arena, work on advancing our exercises, working on just helping her get more broke, and then take her outside, let her ride around outside, to where this is the reward. She gets to go see new things, she gets to experience new stuff, and just experience this whole deal with an attitude of, well, this is when I get to rest, get to relax. So we'll just kind of ride her around, kind of show you where her mentality is right now. Even with the pickup horn going off, she doesn't know what to think about this dog being out here, but I think it's good for her. Gives her something to be distracted by. The neighbors have some dogs over here that they were kind of watching and seeing, and so I think it's kind of good to have this dog over here, to where they don't get so concerned about having a dog around, running around with them and following them around. I think it's going to be good for them. It's kind of a little distraction, but it also encourages them to stay paying attention to me no matter what's going on around them. Especially for a horse that's going to go be more of a trail horse, not necessarily going to go work cattle or anything like that. So when you can have those distractions and teach that horse to keep paying attention to you rather than being worried about what's going on around you, the more you can do that, the better that trail horse is going to be. To a point, when you are riding out down the trail or through the brush, you want that horse paying attention to his own feet, watching the trail, watching where you're going, watching the steps, being able to go around the trees, step around the rocks, not getting themselves in a hole, not walk down into a hole or anything like that. So you do want them paying attention enough to their own feet and where they're going, so that doesn't happen. But you don't want them looking at worried about what's behind every bush and limb and every tree that breaks, they jump and run around. So, it's kind of that happy medium, but more so, the more distractions we can show these horses, and the more they pay attention to us, the better in that case. So as with a lot of these horses this week, it's not so much working on new exercises as it is just helping them work through some mentality, some mental, doing some mental work with them, getting in their mind a little bit, working on some of that stuff, advancing them, advancing their maturity more than what they're able to do physically. There's a lot of what we're ended up working on this week with, like I said, quite a few of these horses. We wanted, at the end of the week, we see where these horses are, evaluate to our goals, customers' goals, evaluate, what are the things we need to be working on in order to help this horse achieve those goals. And a lot of times, if they're progressing well, if their mind's good, if they're learning those exercises we worked on, then we'll advance on to some new ones. But if there's some things that maybe they're not doing those exercises very well, or their mentality, they need some more maturity, they need some time to mature a little bit and kind of work through some things mentally, we may work on those same exercises for as long as it takes, really. And then then you can kind of see, well, so staying on that same path isn't working now. Let's change some other things up, and we adjust as we go along. But the main priority is our customers' goals with these horses, and then applying the knowledge and the skill set that we have in order to help them achieve those in a consistent manner, and do our job to where we set these horses up the best we can. So we're just reviewing a lot of these transitions with her. As I said, she's kind of silly about this dog a little bit out here, kind of acting a little playful, which I'm not mad at her for it. She's just expressing her feelings of what she thinks of this dog being out here, and that's okay. But she's listening to me. She's being soft to my hands. Jeez. Every time we go by that dog, she throws her head up, flicks her nose at him. But I like right here, she's loping around, but she's staying pretty. Well, as I said, that she's getting a little fast right there, but a lot of this stuff, it just takes time and consistency. What we're looking for right here, and what we're working on right here, is us being able to steer this horse around consistently, where she stays between our hands on her feet, and then she transitions down to this walk and get soft. I want this transition, what I'm looking for is this transition to be smooth down to this walk. Mentally, I'm looking for this horse to go up and down through these gates in a controlled manner. It's no different. I have her in the arena. Well, it's no different than how I want her to be outside. Now there are some allowances you make when you have a horse outside. You know, say you have this horse really trained and you have a big old huge stop on this horse. You're not going to expect that horse to do that outside. It's, you know, that's a different thing. You know, the environment's not set up for that horse to do that. You don't want that horse to get hurt, and there's just that, but you do want that horse to stop. Now, you don't want to run down there and slide stop. That's just not realistic or good for you or the horse, and that horse won't stay trained if you expect him to do that. So there's things, you know, you do make allowances for when you are outside. Some of these things that we're asking them to do, you make allowances, but the mentality needs to be the same. I want this horse to do what I ask her to do when I ask her to do it in a controlled, consistent manner. And I expect that, you know, we work towards that in the arena, so it's no different than working towards that outside. And what this does is if this horse is listening to you, that's what we're saying. This horse listens to us, and this horse does what we ask it to do when we ask it to do it. And so if you're outside, you're riding around, or, you know, any of this stuff, if this horse is trained to listen and understand and then do what you ask him to do, and something happens, you know, say a car flies by, you know, you, or even, you know, a helicopter flies through the air right next to you, or, you know, something jumps out of the bushes, or anything, or you're just riding down this trail, all of a sudden there's a big hole, you know, any of that kind of stuff. You need that horse to be able to listen, and listen right then, so that you can keep yourself and that horse out of danger. You know, that's your job when you're sitting on this horse, when you have these horses outside. Your job is to be paying attention, watching where you're going. What's the ground look like? Is there any wire right there? You know, is there any holes in the ground? You know, where, if you're riding through a bunch of trees, what trail or what path can I go through to get me and the horse through there? You know, those are the things that you're paying attention to and you're watching for. You know, along with, you know, say you're using this horse outside, your day working, whatever. Well, then you're not only doing the things I just mentioned, but you're also doing a job. You're looking for cattle. You're you know, staying in line with the other cowboys on the drive. Whatever you're doing, you know, your job, you're doing that. But that horse has to understand and do what I ask it when I ask it right then, so that I can be the guide for that horse, and we can go and get the job done. Even if it is, whether, you know, like as I said, if we're day working or we're just have a leisure trail ride, you know, we want this horse to be paying attention, listening to us, and do what we're asking it to do. So again, you know, a lot of what I want this horse to do right now is listen to me, pay attention, and then I'm going to reward this horse when we're outside right now. So, you know, right now she's relaxed, she's calm, she's paying attention to me. She was doing the exercises I was asking her to do. She's pretty soft in my hands. She's soft to my feet. She's relaxed. She's doing good. So, you know, I'll quit her right here. It's a nice quick update for Cinco. Overall, she's done really well this week. Just, as I said, just some more mentality stuff and getting into her mind a little bit more, getting some more experience on her. So that'll be our video update for today. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.